Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, a new set of eyes watching for speeders. The cameras coming to neighborhoods and school zones to get you to slow down.
Some of the oldest and largest trees in the world are at risk this morning.
They're not something to see, they're something to experience, and they just take everyone's breath away.
How Colorado firefighters are helping out crews battling a blaze in Yosemite in California.
Also a chance to take home part of the championship. While it doesn't include the actual Stanley Cup, the Avalanche gear up for auction here in just a couple hours. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Hope you found a cool place to hide this past weekend. Fortunately, today we get a little bit of a break, Lisa.
15 degrees cooler likely this afternoon. You're going to feel that change. Yeah, we hit a high of 101 on Sunday, so we were just yesterday 1 degree off from the record high. Right now we're in the 60s, low to mid 60s, a little mix of sun and clouds. It's a really pretty start to our Monday morning. A weak cold front swinging through early on, so it'll be, again, quite a bit cooler this afternoon. Mid to upper 70s. It looks like by early afternoon we'll hit highs anywhere from 78 to near 83 degrees. Downtown Denver a touch warmer, right at around 83. 60s and 70s for the foothills. So it's going to be a nice cool down for pretty much all of northeastern Colorado and most of the eastern plains. Now when it comes to thunderstorms today, we had some pretty big ones out at the airport yesterday. You're going to see a few that are going to pop up here in town. A better chance from really Castle Rock south toward the Springs and Pueblo. And that's where we could also see there in darker green some severe weather. We'll take a closer look at that coming up.
And right now we're still in the process of cleaning up this big crash I've been talking about all morning long on southbound I-25 right here between Erie Parkway and Highway 7. This crash is sitting right in here. Take a look from the camera on Air Tracker 7. You can see this is part of the wreck where somebody went well off the highway into this dead-end roundabout. They're hooking it up right now. There's another truck over here. They actually had to drag another truck over here from that left lane over to the side. So 2 lanes are open, 1 lane is closed as they continue this process. Right now the drive time is still at about an hour on the southbound side, so it is getting better, but there are alternate routes you can take on the east and west side of I-25 that could help you out and get through there maybe a little bit faster, but the rest of the drive is pretty standard for you. If you hear of a crash on I-70 near Quebec, I am not seeing delays there, and on that northbound side of I-225, a crash before Mississippi has a slow coming in from ILF.
Well, the city of Aurora is putting some extra eyes on the streets to keep drivers from speeding through sensitive areas like neighborhoods and school zones. A new camera system will go into effect just before school returns. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live with this plan to get you to slow down.
Yeah, and this all came about after the city received several complaints about people speeding and just driving dangerously in residential neighborhoods. So now they're taking action to make the streets safer and reduce the number of deadly traffic accidents. This pilot program is meant to help police monitor speed in residential areas and school zones to automatically issue speeding tickets. So 3 different cameras would be placed in various locations around the city, and these use vehicle-based laser speed technology and can actually catch several cars that are speeding at once. The violations that are captured would have to be reviewed before anyone is cited. The first month that this program launches, the city would begin issuing warnings before giving out tickets and fines. In just the last 3 years or so here in Aurora, there has been a 54% increase in deadly traffic accidents, so they are really hoping that this will help, and the pilot program is expected to last 13 months. Live in Aurora, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Christian. Meanwhile, if you're taking to the skies and flying anywhere this summer, airline schedules are still up in the air. Thankfully, operations are getting back to normal at DIA this morning. We have checked FlightAware and 37 flights are delayed. That is pretty normal and a big drop from the 632 delays yesterday. Airport officials say those delays were due to thunderstorms and high winds in the area. Some planes were even diverted to other states or stuck on the tarmac for hours. The Passenger Bill of Rights from the Department of Transportation does address getting stuck on the tarmac. Domestic flights from U.S. Airlines can stay there up to 3 hours. There are 2 exceptions, though. The pilot determines there's a safety or security reason on board, or air traffic control determines the pilot taxiing to the gate would significantly disrupt operations.
Happening today, Governor Polis will be in Evergreen to talk about wildfires and forest health. He'll be joined by the executive director of the Department of Natural Resources and other local leaders.
Today's visit comes as crews in California work to put out a fire at Yosemite National Park. The Washburn fire doubled in size over the weekend. It has now burned more than 2,000 acres in the grove where the park's ancient sequoias live. Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, fire crews in Yosemite National Park are racing to protect some of the oldest and biggest trees in the world.
They're not something to see, they're something to experience, and they just take everyone's breath away.
The Washburn fire has scorched more than 2,000 acres since igniting last week. Intense flames and heat sending debris hundreds of feet into the air, nearly hitting a firefighting plane.
A branch went right over the top of us, pretty good size. So if we keep seeing that, we might have to knock it off. I don't want to take a chance of busting a window in an airplane or hurting an aircraft.
Firefighters are hoping to keep the flames away from Mariposa Grove, the largest area of ancient sequoias in Yosemite.
It just goes same one that you would use your lawn.
A sprinkler system is now protecting the grizzly giant, the park's second largest tree, which is 209 feet tall and is 3,000 years old.
We're watering that tree in case the fire comes to it, and when the fire does come, fire behavior is just going to drop down and the tree's going to be okay.
Smoke from the fire is expected to cause major problems for the surrounding area. 700 people staying at a nearby campground were told to evacuate, but some are choosing to wait it out.
Plan on staying here at the park for a few days, but I guess we'll see.
Meanwhile, a wildfire in northern Utah nearly doubled in size yesterday, burning nearly 4,000 acres. Back in Yosemite, nearly 550 firefighters are on the front lines, battling the fire from land and from the air. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
And some Colorado firefighters are in California to help local crews there. The Summit Daily reports the Red, White, and Blue Fire Protection District sent 3 firefighters to monitor campgrounds and watch for other hazards that could ignite a wildfire.
Well, walking through Denver, you have probably noticed this. Hopefully you haven't tripped over a cracked or even missing sidewalk. These can be dangerous, very unsightly as well. Denver 7's Veronica Costa joins us live. And Veronica, right now homeowners are responsible for fixing those walkways. One group, though, wants to change that.
They do, and throughout the city, 40% of streets either have no sidewalk or the sidewalk is just so small there's not enough room for something like a wheelchair, even a family walking with the stroller. That's exactly why Denver Streets Partnership wants to change all this, and they don't want the responsibility to fall all on the homeowner. It's because of that this group is turning in petitions today. They're going to try to create Denver Deserves Sidewalks initiative. The group needs about 9,200 valid signatures to be able to get on Denver's November ballot. The good news is they were able to gather way more than that. Today, they're set to turn in about 17,000. Now, organizers we spoke with told us this effort is especially important, not only for low-income neighborhoods, but also for the people who live in them.
The current system is really inequitable. Low-income neighborhoods are the least likely to have safe, well-maintained sidewalks. And the requirement for the adjacent property owner to pay for the construction and repair of sidewalks can be a major burden, particularly on those low-income households.
And if passed, a sidewalk fee of about $100 would be added to property taxes that would be paid once a year. In Denver, I'm Veronica Costa, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. You'll see some new players on the ice when the Avs season starts in October. Joe Sakic signed a new #1 goalie. The Avs traded for Alex Georgiev from the Rangers last week. He signed a 3-year deal for about $3.4 million per season.
We know we're not going to be able to sign everybody. We know that. So, but we've got our priority, and then we'll see. I think some players will test the market, see what's out there for, and see if they want to come back to us. But time will tell.
Well, the Avs are favored to win the Stanley Cup again, and this morning we're still tracking the Cup as it makes its way through visits with the various players. Yesterday was Sam Girard's day with the Cup. He posed for a picture with his dogs, including one of the dogs in the Cup. This picture was posted to the dog's Instagram account, Tornade the Doodle.
The bigger one looks a little disappointed. Yeah. It couldn't fit inside the cup. Here's your chance to own a piece of the Avs Stanley Cup victory. You can't buy the cup itself, of course, but you can buy the game jerseys worn by players like Cale Makar. You can get some of the warm-up pucks with both teams' logos on them, and even locker room mats with the Stanley Cup final logo. You can bid on the website ksc.givesmart.com starting at 9 o'clock this morning. All the money raised goes to Kroenke Sports Charities. Elon Musk says he is done with the Twitter deal, but breaking up is hard to do, while lawyers say it might be too late for him to back out of the deal. Plus,
I'm John Matteries. Mortgage rates moving up this year to 5%, even 6%, are changing things for both home buyers and sellers. What this could mean for you if you might be getting into the housing market, coming up.